Hey guys, what's up? VicStar999 here, and today I'm going to be doing my first ever PC build. I'm super excited. I've been kind of collecting parts for about 2-ish weeks now, so now it's time to finally put everything together. As I mentioned, this is my first PC build, so please don't take this as a tutorial. I just thought it'd be fun to bring you guys on this journey with me, as well as maybe give someone the courage to try building a PC for their first time. As we go throughout the video, I will leave the name and price of each part if I can remember it or find it. So yeah, let's get into it. Alrighty, so to begin, I'm starting off with my motherboard. For the motherboard, I chose an NZXT N7 B550. I just wanted to make sure that the box was completely empty and I wasn't forgetting anything, and also trying to figure out how to quite open this motherboard the correct way that wouldn't damage it or any of the products inside. Then I went on to the Ryzen processor, which is a 5600X. Another thing I was trying to be super careful with because I know the pins on there are extra sensitive, and I was trying to make sure nothing would break or get bent. Then I noticed on the motherboard that there's an arrow that is supposed to line up with this processor, which is really nice and handy. And so that was my next step, was to line those two arrows up. After those arrows got lined up, I then put down the prong that goes on top of it to keep it in place. And then I had to take a second to figure out quite how to get this Samsung 500GB 970 EVO Plus into the correct slot, and you have to kind of put it at an angle, but of course not too much at an angle because you do not want the pins to bend. Then it comes with this little screw that is almost impossible to grab, and I lost multiple times, so I had to screw that in there. Then we were off to the 16GB of Corsair Vengence RAM. Another thing with those little pins, so I just wanted to make sure I was doing everything right, which I was really stressed about. So as you can tell, we got extra hands helping out because I was really scared to push anything down. I was worried that pins were gonna break or who knows what. After putting the first one in and making sure that was secured, we moved on to the second stick of RAM and got that one all in there. Once again, you can tell I was stressed about it. Then we went ahead and unboxed the CPU cooler, which is a Corsair ICUE H100i CPU cooler. Once again, checking out that box, making sure I got every piece. Then we moved on to arguably the fun part, which was the case. I ended up getting a Lian Li Lancool 215. Another hefty product I needed extra hands trying to get out. If you couldn't tell, we are going for an all-white build. There goes my cat straight into that box the minute it hit the floor. Then we went ahead and took off the glass piece on this case just to kind of check the inside out and see how we were going to go about the next few steps. And of course, me and my handy dandy instruction manual, making sure everything is in order. Now on to placing the motherboard in the case. Another step, you guessed it, I was scared to do, so extra hands to help out there. Once again, just looking in the case, making sure the motherboard is in place, getting the screws ready to screw that motherboard in so it is secure. We ended up placing the CPU cooler into the top of the case and are currently getting that all screwed in there. This was a relatively easy part to do. It's pretty straightforward. There's screw holes on the CPU cooler that line up perfectly on the case. Here I am again, screwing more screws into that motherboard, making sure it's secure as the CPU cooler is already secured in there. Hope you enjoy all those guest appearances from all the cats. Now we are attaching in that final piece of the CPU cooler. We are moving on to the GeForce RTX 3060. I unscrewed the piece of the case that this graphics card will be going, and now I'm currently unboxing it, and you guessed it, checking the box to make sure we got every piece out. I really like the packaging of this graphics card. It felt very luxurious. Now I am screwing that graphics card into those 2 slots I unscrewed earlier. The graphics card was a little bit trickier to get in because it's, again, with those pins you have to line up with the motherboard. Next we're on to the 850 watt Corsair RM series power supply, which was much easier. You just slide it right into the designated spot on the case and get the cords all aligned so they're less messy. There I go again, screwing in that power supply, pushing it in from the back, making sure everything is in place and secure. Next, after a bunch of cord management and getting everything figured out, I am screwing on the back of the case. Now I am putting on the front of the case on top of those fans, and then we are putting on the glass part of the case. I did go back a little later and organize those wiring just to make sure everything was to my liking and neatly organized. And here is the turn on when everything started to work, or at least seemed to start to work. It ended up having a few little issues here and there that we had to go back in and reset some stuff. Here she is in her full glory. I had a bunch of fun making this video for you guys as well as making this PC, even though we did encounter a few hiccups in the road, but other than that, it was relatively easy for the 8 hours it took us. I'm excited for what this PC will bring in terms of gaming and more content for you guys. So yeah, thank you so much for watching.